In chapter 10. Among Germans, I am immediately understood when I say that philosophy has been corrupted by theologians' blood. The Protestant parson is the grandfather of German philosophy. Protestantism itself, its peccatum originale, definition of Protestantism, the partial paralysis of Christianity and of reason. One need merely say Tübingen Seminary to understand what German philosophy is at bottom, an insidious theology. The Swabians are the best liars in Germany. They lie innocently. Why was Kant's appearance greeted with jubilation among German scholars, of whom 3/4 are the sons of parsons and teachers? And whence came the German conviction, echoed even today, that a change for the better began with Kant? The theologian's instinct in the German scholars divined what had once again been made possible. A path had been found on which one could sneak back to the old ideal. The conception of a true world, the conception of morality as the essence of the world, these two most malignant errors of all time, were once again, thanks to a wily and shrewd skepticism, if not provable, at least no longer refutable. Reason, the right of reason, does not extend that far. Reality had been reduced to mere appearance, and a mendaciously fabricated world, the world of being, was honored as reality. Kant's success is merely a theologian's success. Like Luther, like Leibniz, Kant was one more clog for German honesty, which was none too steady in the first place. In chapter 11, one more word against Kant as a moralist. A virtue must be our own invention, our most necessary self-expression and self-defense. Any other kind of virtue is merely a danger. Whatever is not a condition of our life harms it. A virtue that is prompted solely by a feeling of respect for the concept of virtue, as Kant would have it, is harmful. Virtue, duty, the good in itself, the good which is impersonal and universally valid, chimeras and expressions of decline, of the final exhaustion of life, of the Chinese phase of Königsberg. The fundamental laws of self-preservation and growth demand the opposite. That everyone invent his own virtue, his own categorical imperative. A people perishes when it confuses its duty with duty in general. Nothing ruins us more profoundly, more intimately than every impersonal duty, every sacrifice to the Moloch of abstraction. How could one fail to feel how Kant's categorical imperative endangered life itself? The theologian's instinct alone protected it. An action demanded by the instinct of life is proved to be right by the pleasure that accompanies it. Yet this nihilist, with his Christian dogmatic entrails, considered pleasure an objection. What could destroy us more quickly than working, thinking, and feeling without any inner necessity, without any deeply personal choice, without pleasure, as an automaton of duty? This is the very recipe for decadence, even for idiocy. Kant became an idiot, and this man was a contemporary of Goethe. This catastrophic spider was considered the German philosopher. He still is. I beware of saying what I think of the Germans. Did not Kant find in the French Revolution the transition from the inorganic form of the state to the organic? Did he not ask himself whether there was any event which could be explained only in terms of a moral disposition of mankind, an event which would demonstrate once and for all the tendency of mankind toward the good? Kant's answer: this is the revolution. The instinct which errs without fail, anti-nature as instinct, German decadence as philosophy, that is Kant. Chapter 12. I accept a few skeptics, the decent type in the history of philosophy. The rest are simply unaware of the most basic requirements of intellectual honesty. All these great enthusiasts and prodigies behave like our little females. They consider beautiful sentiments adequate arguments, regard a heaving bosom as the bellows of the deity, and conviction a criterion of truth. In the end, Kant tried, with German innocence, to give this corruption, this lack of any intellectual conscience, scientific status with his notion of practical reason. He invented a special kind of reason for cases in which one need not bother about reason. That is, when morality, when the sublime command, "Thou shalt," raises its voice. When we consider that among almost all peoples, the philosopher is merely the next development of the priestly type, then this legacy of the priest, this self-deceiving counterfeit, ceases to be surprising. Having sacred tasks such as improving, saving, or redeeming mankind, carrying the deity in his bosom, and being the mouthpiece of imperatives from the beyond, with such a mission, a man naturally stands outside all merely intellectual valuations. He himself is sanctified by such a task. He himself is a type of a higher order. What is science to the priest? He is above that, and until now the priest has ruled. He determined the concepts of true and untrue.